Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Thursday, March 18th. We're going to be talking some NBA DFS draft picks on both FanDuel and Draft Kings for today. But before we get started, I'm going to talk a little bit about yesterday, about my picks and how they turned out. So yesterday was a very good day overall. On the DraftKings side, we had Tomas Satoransky, 3,800, looking for 19 out of him. Got to 22, so he was a hit. Josh Jackson, 5,100, looking for about 26 out of him. He got to 34.25, so he was also a hit. Harrison Barnes, $6,500, looking for 33 out of him. He got to 38, so he was a hit as well. Then Larry Nance, he was a pretty big hit. He had 44 points for 4,700. You were only looking for 23, 24 out of him, so he was a massive hit there. The one miss that we did have was Drew Eubanks. Ended up with 14.75. That game looked like it was going to be a blowout. It looked like the Spurs were going to get blown out, and then they really came back, and he didn't play much towards the end of that game. You know, you were looking for about 15.5, 16 out of him. So he's probably a guy that didn't kill you overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Tomas Satoransky as well, 3,900, looking for 20 out of him. Got to 21.9, so he was a hit. Karis LeVert, once again, he was a pretty good hit, $4,400, looking for 22 out of him. Got to 35.1, so once again, a hit. Then Kevin Porter Jr., $6,300, looking for 32, 33 out of him. He got to 43.4, so he was a hit. Marcus Morris, $3,700, looking for 18, 19 points out of him. He got to 28.4, definitely a solid hit there as well. Then last but not least, we have Mason Plumlee, $5,800, looking for 29 out of him. He got to 31.8. So overall, 9 out of 10 core picks were hits, and then Drew Eubanks was a miss, but he really wasn't that far off either. So pretty solid day overall. But with that being said, we'll get into the injuries for today's games. So this is going to be a 6-game slate. And for the Jazz, Mike Conley is the newest one out. Azubuike's been out for a while now. So you're going to probably see Joe Ingles in that starting lineup. Jordan Clarkson get a little bit more run as well. Then for the Wizards, Ish Smith is out. Keep an eye out on Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Maybe one of them sits out on the back-to-back. Most likely probably going to be Russell Westbrook. If he doesn't play, Raul Neto is going to have some value. I know they said if Neto didn't play yesterday, Cassius Winston could get involved as well. So maybe he comes up a little bit today as well if Russell Westbrook does not play. Then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Darius Bazley's out once again. Maladon and Dort are both game time decisions. We'll see if they play or not. If they don't play, definitely going to bump up some other guys as well. Then for the Hawks, we're looking at Capella and Okongwu once again. So just keep an eye out on them throughout the day. This day is going to change probably quite a bit from the time I'm recording this video, about 10:30 in the morning till lock. So we're going to keep an eye out on all the different injuries going on. As always, I'll have that news down in the comments below. Then for the Magic, we're looking at Evan Fournier, Aaron Gordon, and Terrence Ross. They are all game time decisions. We'll see who ends up playing, who doesn't end up playing. I would assume Terrence Ross plays since he did play the last time out, but we'll just have to see. Then for the Knicks, Derrick Rose is out once again. Alfred Payton, game time decision looking like he's not going to play. Isaiah Quickly, game time decision likely to play. Pretty much the same as we've been looking at for a while now. And then for the Timberwolves, pretty much the same guys out. Jared Culver is a game time decision, but unlikely to play. For the Suns, we got Cam Johnson out once again. And then Nader is a game time decision. We'll see if he ends up playing or not. Then for the Pelicans, just JJ Redick out once again. Trailblazers essentially the same as they've been. Maybe they get Harry Giles back today. We'll just have to see. And then last but not least, we got that Hornets and Lakers game. So the Hornets are all the way healthy. And then the Lakers, Alex Caruso's out once again. That was probably the biggest one we're looking at. Anthony Davis has obviously been out for a while. Marc Gasol's still out. So pretty much the same as they've been the last 2 times out. But with that being said, that's pretty much a quick little rundown on the injuries for today's slate. We'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So like I said, there's a lot of moving parts on today's slate, so these picks are not solidified. I'll probably leave down in the comments if any of these picks do end up changing as well, because you look at this and it's probably not some of the names that you would think about quite a bit. So first off, we have Ricky Rubio, $5,800, looking for 29 out of him. He's been playing well lately, been getting the minutes, been starting. This is going against his former team, so if you guys are into revenge game narratives, definitely one that you could take there. Definitely a guy that should pay off for his price tag. Then at shooting guard, we have Joe Ingles, and he goes against a great matchup in Washington, going to be in that starting lineup. Looking for about 26 out of him, averaging 24 on the season. So with that little starting bump, the little extra minutes, I think he's definitely a guy that can pay off for his price tag. Then at small forward, we got Taylor Horton Tucker once again, and he's been playing pretty decent minutes, been playing pretty well without Alex Caruso in the lineup, so definitely gets a bump up there. $3,900, you're only looking for 19, 20 points out of him. I think he can definitely do that once again. Probably the least sexy name on this list is Taj Gibson. $3,200, looking for 16 points out of him. He's been playing like over 20 minutes the last couple games. I don't know why Tom Thibodeau is playing him so much, but he's one of the guys that he does love, so I would not be surprised to see that happen again. It's going against Orlando. This game could end up in a blowout just depending on who actually ends up playing for Orlando. I think it's a game maybe Taj Gibson has, enough decent stats to pay off, cheap dart throw type of guy. Then last but not least at center, we got DeAndre Ayton. And $6,100, pretty good price tag for him. You're looking for 31 points, averaging almost 34 in the season. Karl Anthony Towns isn't the greatest defender in the world either, so definitely a spot where he could pay off. But if you go with these 5 guys over on DraftKings, you'll have $25,700 left over, just under $8,600 per player. Definitely some room to pay up for some guys on the slate. You probably can fit in 2 guys and then a value piece. Like I said, there's always going to be value coming out throughout the day as we get the news. But with that being said, we're going to get switched over to the FanDuel side and talk about my picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, we're going to start off with point guard. I got Chris Paul, $6,900, looking for about 35 points out of him, averaging 37 on the season. Seems like a misprice. Honestly, he's been playing pretty decent lately. And going against the Timberwolves, they're not going to put up much of a fight, especially for a guy like Chris Paul. So he's definitely in play today. Then, like I said, I don't like to double dip, but Joe Ingles' price tag on FanDuel is just too nice today. $4,400, looking for 22 out of him. That's pretty much what he's averaging on the season. Then he's getting that bump up in that starting lineup. Extra minutes. Going against the Wizards. Can't beat that. There's actually a lot of good shooting guard value today. Jordan Clarkson, Emmanuel Quickley, Taylor Horton Tucker as well. And then even if you want to go up and pay up for Donovan Mitchell, you have plenty of options at that shooting guard position today. Now, with that being said, the small forward position is almost the opposite. So the best value play that I have at the small forward position today is Mikal Bridges. $4,900, you're looking for about 25 out of him. He's averaging almost 27 on the season. Goes against that same good matchup against the Timberwolves. He's a guy that I expect to probably be pretty popular today. Should be able to pay off for his price tag. Then at power forward, we're going to go for Zion Williamson. Power forward is not the best position in terms of depth today either. Could change throughout the day as we get more news, though. So I think definitely a good starting point is Zion Williamson. Played pretty good against the Trailblazers last time out. They're not very good on defense overall. Should be another solid game for him. $8,400, you're looking for about 42 points out of him. Averaging about 40.5 on the season, so it's definitely not out of the question. Then last but not least, we got Enes Kanter. Honestly, center's kind of hit or miss, and a lot of it's going to depend on that news. You could pay up for some guys, pay down for some guys, too, at that center position. But I think Kanter, if you're going for that mid-range type of guy, he's the best bet there is there. I know he didn't play the best against the Pelicans the last time, but I think it should get better in this game. As long as he's getting the minutes, he should be pretty safe. $6,000, you're looking for 30 points out of him. That's what he's averaging on the season, so definitely not out of the question once again. But if you go with these 5 guys over on FanDuel, you have $29,400 left over. Just over $7,300 per player, so definitely a little bit of room to spend up for some guys and then find some value as it comes out throughout the day as well. But with that being said, these are my picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel for today, March 18th. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comments. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then as always, I'll be leaving all the news and starting lineups down in the comments as they become available throughout the day. And with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. That's really one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football teams, talking all the different football news this offseason. As it comes along, we're going to have some free agencies, some NFL draft news, talking about some prospects that I do like in the draft. Once they do end up getting drafted, we'll talk about their impact on the fantasy football scene as well. Definitely a lot of great content that will be coming out this off season. And then as we move forward into baseball season, I'm going to do you a little bit of fantasy baseball and some baseball news talk as well. But with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who is yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a video. And with that being said, I post daily NBA DFS videos. Like I said, going to be posting some fantasy football, some football news, some fantasy baseball, and some baseball news as well. So all that should be coming out in the next week or so. Definitely don't want to miss any of that great content coming out. But with that being said, that's all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you guys do very well in NBA DFS tonight. And then as always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching this video. Definitely do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me. And I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.